Anybody going to go with me? I don't know if these guys talk to each other on the radio.
Oh, trouble!
Man!
Into the wall.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
Hard impact.
Tosses out.
Joey Coulter in the 22 truck.
Maybe Hornaday was dragging a brake a little bit.
There goes that
hook up, and there goes the hood.
The hood in front of the windshield for Justin Marks, and he is into the outside wall. The caution will come out once again.
I'm amazed it lasted as long as it did.
He came off of turn 4 and looked like he had the lead that no one was. Oh, Travis Kvapil involved in this one. He gets sideways, and now they pile up behind him.
Hornaday's in it.
The 33.
Brendan Gaughan is in it.
Looks like Todd Bodine potentially in it as well.
Look at all these
They're not
trucks in
done
the back.
wrecking yet.
Johnny Sauter, Matt Kraft, and Max Pappas.
Take a look from up above.
And again, just watch the yellow truck there.
This is the aftermath.
Everything happening in front of them. They're checking up.
Oh my gosh.
Donnie Neuenberger got in the back of Johanna Long, pushed her into the 88 of Matt Crafton. That's what caught all these other trucks in this. There's Max Pappas. He obviously got involved as well.
Anybody from the 5 on back looks like they were potentially in this thing with some damage.
The lucky ones. Guys like Parker Kligerman in the 29.
How about Chris Fontaine at 84 getting by? Nice job.
Slipped by, yeah.
Take a look from up above.
Or does something happen here?
He starts wobbling right there. That looks like maybe
Max Pappas
Max was right.
Possibly Max got into the back of him and got him loose. The left rear tire is down. I don't know if it's from the slide or not. Probably is.
I think David Starr, an innocent victim there. You can see at the top of your screen Jennifer Jo Cobb, she was definitely middle. I don't know if there's any room, but there trouble.
They go.
Problems as they go through the triangle. Austin Dillon is caught up in it. The 31 of Buscher's caught up in it.
That's the rest of the field.
They're all in it. They're all in it.
There's only 2 guys left running.
James Buscher's good.
They just start bouncing around back in there.
It was really Brad Sweet in the 32 truck. Maybe the 32 got hooked by the 51 truck. Red flag is out.
That's kind of what it looked like. They just started moving around. They were wobbling as they were going down toward turn 1 there. Truck gets really free coming through the tri-oval here, especially when you get them 3 wide like that.
It was 3 wide in front.
I don't think the 51 was into the back of him, DW.
It almost looked like the 32 and the 18 made some contact.
Blocks the track and nobody had anywhere to go. Ricky Carmichael did a nice job going down through the grass to avoid that.
About a $500,000 junkyard right there. Actually, oh my, look at that at real time. That
was a hard hit by Parker Kligerman.
And I'm not sure, Phil, but down in there may not be any safer barrier. I think that's right in a part of the racetrack where they don't have safer barrier.
Just before it starts back for the corner.
Get it up high enough to get the jack underneath that left side. And ultimately, tire goes away, and around goes Travis Kvapil. That's the second spin we've seen him do today.
Able to drive back around here. Watch this now. There's Ricky Carmichael. See the 7 of Paluto already turned around. Max Pappas does a nice job avoiding that. Unfortunately, B.J. McLeod had nowhere to go.
This would be a good angle to see what happens.
Oh, got together with the 66 of Justin Marks.
And look, everybody's trying to go low, go low. BJ said, I want to go low too.
But somebody was there.
Just didn't have room.
No pressure.
Timothy Peters.
Whoa, he's going to spin him out.
Goes the 30 of Todd Bodine.
There you go.
Oh, hard contact. David Starr is involved in it.
Still coming.
Also the 15 of Dusty Davis.
Not able to keep pace like his teammate. Oh, look at there.
Oh, and around goes Timothy Peters coming through 1 and 2.
So green. So green. Yellow's out, yellow's out, yellow's out.
Smoke brings out the caution.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Timothy Peters, it looked like he was going to be able to refire his truck and move away, but there was so much smoke. We saw what happened when Todd Bodine spun.
He's on the inside of David Mayhew and gets loose entering the corner, Phil. Had to chase the thing up the track, and when he did, he made contact with Mayhew and contact with the outside wall.
Yeah, Brendan was running just outside the top 10 in 11th when that happened. Had a decent run going for him.
And that's...
Here we go. 29 got together.
Yeah, looked like the 29 tried to take it in a little bit harder.
Did it appear that the 29 thought maybe the 4 would give him a hole there, and the hold wasn't available?
Substantial suspension damage there on that 32 truck.
Just got a little bit loose, got sideways, had to chase it up the hill. A lot of times you can get away with that if you have a 60-foot wide racetrack. Left to keep from spinning out the Jason White. Does a nice job keeping that truck out of the inside wall.
You talked about how narrow this place is, Phil. It's not very often. We saw it with Brad Sweet.
30 off turn number 2.
Coming off such a great finish at Phoenix a week or 2 weeks ago.
Got his left sides down on the flat of the racetrack. Remember, that looks like raceable surface down there. It's the apron. Basically, it's banked a lot less. And you kind of lose your vision there. When he's right behind that truck. That's actually down at the other end of the racetrack after he initially hit the wall coming off turn number 2.
Ryan was smart there because the 7 of Miguel Paludo was down on the bottom of the racetrack. He knew if he went down there, he would have problems. Oh, up into the wall is the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. He makes contact once again with the wall.
Yeah, he had made contact with Parker Kligerman, and now we got Jason White in a 23 and Joey Coulter in a 22, and they make hard contact on the back straightaway.
This is the first incident where the 8 hits the wall. Now watch behind him. Jason White already sideways coming out of 2.
Joey Coulter in the 22 tried to check up. He gets sideways, and they end up hitting each other, getting together.
Saw a bunch of sparks before that truck went into the outside wall. It makes you think that maybe he cut down a right front tire, broke something on the right front suspension.
He was just able to drive that thing down into turn 3 and 4.
Ricky Carmichael into the wall coming out of turn 4. The field spreading. We've got a problem behind him too. It looks like 2 trucks maybe slapped the wall. Oh, and hard hit by Johanna Long as they crossed the stripe. Also involved was the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. Nelson Piquet Jr. that hit the wall, and then Johanna Long looked like she cut the right front tire on Nelson Piquet Jr.'s truck.
Taylor Malsom does an incredible job avoiding Ricky Carmichael. See, Ricky tries to keep the truck up against the outside wall.
Her tire was down right there. I think that's why we started seeing the sparks.
You know what? Let's ride with Ricky Carmichael and just get a sense of what this is like coming out of turn 4.
You heard the tires start squealing there when he lost control of the back of that truck. Now he's going to have hard contact here.
Oh.
Looked like Ricky was going to gas it up and try to move away.
7 of Norm Benning could he have been coming into that turn a little too fast?
I think Norm was way higher than I would have anticipated him to be, and so I think
for our caution, take a look. Oh, the 97 was on the curb and bounced back out. Caught Craig Ghost in the 46, so a little damage to that truck as well.
Miguel Paludo down on the inside of Sweet. Watch how far he gets him sideways. Watch the job Sweet does here. All the way around, no.
Incredible.
And then bam, you can see Peters.
There's a chain reaction. Max Pappas trying to slow down. Timothy Peters right behind him.
Ray mentioned that Kevin Harvick was going to try to run it out maybe 100 laps. And around goes to 30 of Bodine at the hands of Kevin Harvick.
Those trucks got together coming off turn 2, guys. It looked like Ty Bodine maybe got to the back of Kevin a little bit, but
I don't think you'll ever get a wave around.
One of the situations that Kevin Harvick could have happened, the way our scoring monitor shows right now, we've got Rourke 1 lap down, but then Kevin Harvick is the next truck a lap down, but he's 2 laps down. So if Rourke gets the free pass this time, Kevin would be the next recipient of that free pass. Could get a lap back that way.
On the next caution.
Exactly. A look at what just took place.
Just another chain reaction deal. Both these.
Well, somebody had to come from a long way back to get in that wreck, it appears, Phil.
Yeah, we haven't even seen the 31 yet, or the 1 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I think this might happen at the other end.
Wow, this is the other end of the racetrack. Battling for space, James Buescher was trying to get to the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, going down in the corner.
Wow,
that's
look at
the
that
very
thing.
fastest part of the racetrack when these guys got together.
And you could see Jeffrey Earnhardt was trying to
see that door open. I'm going to jump in here. And he jumps in the throttle just a little bit. Ricky wasn't quite off the bottom of the racetrack. And right now, Ricky's still on the lead lap.
What happened? Todd's into the back of Dusty, but, you know, you can't really, it's hard to tell what happened first.
Yeah.
If maybe Dusty moved Todd a little, or maybe not. Maybe just Todd got in there a little hot and got in the back of Dusty.
They might have problems with a 30 truck of Todd Bodine.
Way up the racetrack for Todd Bodine. Right rear, and around goes Todd Bodine. The caution hasn't come out yet. Now he's down at the bottom of the track, and the caution comes out now. The 11th caution of the day.
People going everywhere trying to get by Chase Mattioli.
There's
Trouble.
the caution.
Around goes the 97 of Matt Lofton.
Here's Timothy Peters. They take a tear off. He leaves pit row. Watch this
Whoa,
now.
gas
can.
man.
And I think the gas man grabbed that can at the last second and did not allow it to go over the line.
Yeah, but here's where the trouble started. That's a hard lick there that Todd got into the back of the
Miguel.
7 truck right there, Miguel. And
High side now, but they gained track position by doing 2 tires.
Trouble.
There
Around
he goes.
goes Austin Dillon. Dillon was on the inside.
Hold the brake.
No contact
brake.
yet. He slides.
Hold the brake. Hold the brake.
Everybody's going to miss him. As you see him, Cole Witt's going to slide up the racetrack, gets loose, makes contact with Nick.
boy, nice job by David Starr. He gets through, and Brendan was trying to get through. Just the 63 came down and clipped him.
95% of this race, Brendan Gaughan has run the outside line. And outside,
Max
little
comes
contact
down there.
Brad
Brad Sweet was there. Just a slight bit of contact. Elliott Sadler does a great job getting by on the inside.
Oh,
Wow, very close call there.
I
Jamie got into the wall on the inside twice.
What's coming off the corner? He had a truck right behind him. Just got sideways. Lost the back end up off the corner. Pretty significant contact to the inside wall, and then hits it again.
You know, that's why I like calling those safer barriers, because they're not soft.
That's sweet. You have Todd Bodine just in front of this group. Craig
spins.
Around goes Craig goes to the 46. Clip the 32 of Brad Sweet.
Hold it.
Now that is as close as you can come to wrecking.
The top 20. Oh, Johanna Long was down on the inside of Brad. She does a great job. Watch this, Phil.
Amazing.
She stayed
That's
calm.
about when we saw her right there, and then he was completely sideways, backwards, right next to her.
And she just had to sit there and just take a deep breath. You know, any evasive action on these banks, she would have went into the wall too. She was really cool there.
Kept that truck straight. That's her coming straight at us.
Be interesting to see. They made contact. It looked like maybe Johanna was in there, and maybe Brad came down, didn't see her in there. Is that what it looked like to you?
That's what it looked like to me. Here's another look. You see him. He's in between 2 trucks, and he does get sideways and then overcorrects it. And man, did that truck hit the wall hard.
You talked about it. You're going 160, 170 miles an hour when you get into the turn.
Yeah, but you know,
And that's a hard right turn.
You just don't see wrecks that hard very often. I mean, that truck clobbered the outside wall, and he shot up there at just such an extreme angle, Phil.
Almost perpendicular to the outside wall.
Head on.
He was running in the 14th spot. This is the 3rd DNF.
Look, just gets loose. Just gets behind the steering, and we talk about this racetrack with those 9-degree straightaways.
Last year here at Dover, Phil, he got his career best finish too. He was 3rd. Today,
looks like he almost had it saved there, and about the 3rd time around, and then hard into the inside wall, front and back. To the inside of the 93 truck of Shane Sieg.
oh man,
That there wasn't real estate there for him.
It looks like Shane kind of was coming down the hill.
there was a little bit of room for Shane to be up higher than he was. I don't know if
It was after the contact was made, and Craig made contact with the outside wall.
does a good job hanging on to it. Gonna have another chance to get loose down here in 3.
Parker Kligerman just 20 years old.
there he
Around
goes.
goes Parker Kligerman right in front of the field. Kligerman goes around into the outside wall. They stay green. Comes out for this.
Oh wow, 3 wide.
Yeah. See, Timothy Peters could not turn left because Johnny Sauter was there, and I don't think that Nelson Piquet Jr. realized that they were 3 wide. Maybe the spotter didn't tell him that they were 3 wide.
Look how hard those trucks hit. Look at all that sheet metal buckling. Great camera work, guys, showing the slow motion impact. It looks innocent enough, but darn, they hit hard.
They just jump up off the racetrack when they make contact with that outside wall.
Let me back up. That didn't look innocent enough at all. That looks like a crazy crash. Watch PK's truck up in the air. You can tell there how serious that is.
That was a real hard hit for the 7. See him right? He's right there running in the middle of the racetrack. Just got loose. We talk about these trucks being so loose. He got it down out of traffic, but unfortunately, pretty significant contact with the inside safer barrier.
on the rear end of another truck. It feels like I'm riding.
Hornaday goes sideways. Hornaday around on the racetrack. It doesn't look like he's going to make any contact with the walls or other trucks. So
all by himself.
Looks
got
like
a little bit loose maybe, or just
maybe he got in a little harder than he had, possibly, and the splitter got on the ground. You saw it sparking, and he just couldn't get the truck to turn.
He's out there, just came in the pits.
Oh, sideways early.
Just sideways early and just loses control.
Really fortunate.
We've had Todd Bodine, a 2-time Truck Series champion, spin out. We've had Ron Hornaday, a 4-time Truck Series champion, spin out. We have in this Camping World Truck.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Timothy Peters into the wall.
Keeper, I'll look at it down the front here, inside.
We got a little shove. Kyle Busch in the back of Clint Boyer on the back straightaway, trying to help him draft along. Was that Brendan Gaughan?
Brendan Gaughan bounces off the wall coming off turn 4.
He got in. Oh, and it's going to crash.
Yep, right behind him.
Check up. He's coming back up.
Checking to avoid was the 0-2 of Jamie Dick. You see TJ Bell with problems in the 50.
They make it look. Look at that action.
Wow. Look at TJ Bell get air. TJ Bell gets air.
Look at that.
All 4 tires up off the ground.
TJ Bell's in the showdown tomorrow. Bet he doesn't want another ride like that.
Look at the smoke off those tires. What a great shot from that super slow motion camera.
That's amazing.
Beautiful pictures coming. Runs the high side of this racetrack, not up to speed.
Oh, we got a
and
crash.
Into the wall goes Max Pappas after he gets contact with the 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Matt Crafton also got a good piece of that. Matt Crafton never finished out of the top 11 here.
He's going to finish outside of it today, Rick.
Man, what the hell happened, Jason?
A lot of smoke still coming out from the left front of that 0-2 of Jamie Dick.
I think Joey Coulter making it 3 wide.
Do what you can, bud. Let's keep an eye
Sparks
on that
into the wall goes Jamie Dick.
guys. I think his tire went down.
I think that left front tire went down.
Keep it high. Keep it up there. Caution is out. Caution is out.
8th caution comes out. Down at the bottom of the racetrack.
Got loose. Was that Kemi right behind him? Be a good view from his onboard camera.
Once again,
he had a tire going down. That left rear was getting soft. You see him wiggle. We were watching him a couple laps ago, and then the carcass just comes off that tire. That tire had definitely been deflating, and finally the air got so low that the tire came apart.
And you know, Phil, that's trucks, and they're back in this baby.
Piquet jumps in the middle there. There's going to be a little bit of contact right there. Brad Sweet didn't leave enough room for 2 trucks underneath him.
I bet he didn't think Nelson would drive into that hole. He thought he was diving in on the outside of Johanna, and all of a sudden, bam, there's somebody inside of him.
coming through the tri-oval. Take a look back. There you see the 8. Yeah.
He looks like got hooked in the right rear a little bit.
He must have. Contact must have precipitated that. He wouldn't normally do that.
He might have tried to change lanes, Phil, you think, maybe, and somebody was there. And, man, he was headed right toward that outside wall at one point.
There's going to be a little contact here. There is a little bit of contact. That was kind of odd looking, wasn't it?
That was weird. Thank you.
As an opportunity to improve their fuel mileage, as we see Clay just get a little bit loose all by himself up on the high side of Max Pappas.
That's something Clay don't do. He finished 3rd down at Daytona. He got the season kicked off right, led the points for a while, and now he's
There's another view. He was in the inside of another truck trying to get by. That was a 93 truck of Shane Sieg. Those trucks often get a little bit loose when you're on the inside. It robs that inside truck of the air on the rear.
Take another look.
Look right side of your screen. Just gets a little bit loose in front of Clay Rogers. Does a nice job keeping that truck out of the outside wall. There's Justin Marks with a nice job. And there's Brian Eichler. You saw the smoke from his front tires. Front fender's torn off that 81. Oh, Todd and David get kind of hooked up together. Todd may have got loose on the bottom of the racetrack. He got into the 81 of David Starr. Watch Ricky Carmichael do a nice job avoiding the 81 of David Starr. Now today, Austin's going to move to the outside here. Matt's going to move up the racetrack and squeezes Austin. Didn't quite have Austin cleared when he tried to move up the racetrack to follow Hornaday. Austin ran into him. He just didn't quite have him cleared. Matt certainly got the worst of that situation. Hits the outside wall as well as the inside wall.
Look at that.
Justin just got a little bit loose coming up off of turn number 4. Caught it one time and then around it went. He does a nice job keeping control through the grass there. Finally goes back across the racetrack in between a couple trucks. They do a nice job avoiding him.
Austin Dillon and that number 3 team. Steve Arpin slides in front, and Austin Dillon gets caught up in it. Arpin and Dillon slide across the grass in the quad oval.
Nothing Austin could have done about that.
Win number 3 in Texas.
Travis Quapple hard into Johanna Long.
Across the stripe, and the trucks continue to try to avoid, but Johanna Long and Travis Quapple hard contact at the
well.
These two are racing for 28th.
It looked like initially that they were apart. There could have been some contact before we caught that.
Yeah, I'd say they must have gotten together. You can finish.
Whoa, Jason.
The hole closes as you see Austin Dillon go through, and now around goes the 16. John King sideways. Caution.
Track position. Here's another shot of what happened to Jennifer. See right there running alone in between a couple trucks. Makes some contact with the left rear as well as the left front corner of that truck. And we heard
3 and 60 battling for position on the track.
This almost started off 2 over there. Ron tried to force the 60 up over there and wasn't able to do so. And this time, I think he just tried to carry the momentum, thinking maybe he could clear Cole Witt, and he didn't get him clear.
Brennan Gaughan did a great job avoiding him, but Ron came along and clipped the 15 as well as the 16 of John King running into Ron.
Hits the last lap, but he's way faster than Kyle Busch right now. Oh, we got a spinner.
Right behind him, the 99 of Charlie Vest goes sideways.
Go hard. Keep on going.
He's all the way around. No caution yet.
I think NASCAR's going to hold off throwing it, see if he can refire it. He's right on pit road. He's really out of the racing groove completely right now. If he sits there, obviously NASCAR will have no choice but to throw the caution.
And he is sitting there right now. But look at this battle we got for the lead.
Caution comes out inside of 10 laps to go.
Look out, look out, look out, look out.
Turn 4.
Out into 3.
3 wide behind.
Oh, trouble.
And Miguel Paludo in the 7 into the wall hard. That'll bring caution out again.
And Steve Arpin also involved. There's Timothy Peters.
Ooh, he barely slips by.
Nelson Piquet in the 8 truck in the middle.
He gets loose, doesn't he?
Gets a little bit loose and just gets in the left rear corner of Miguel. Then nowhere for him to go. Also for Steve Arpin, nowhere for him to go as well. Timothy Peters does a nice job avoiding his.
Complete that pass. That's really difficult to do.
Around in front of him goes Brian Eichler sideways through turn 2.
He's going to keep it out of the outside wall. Caution flag is out.
He's got loose. He got loose up under Miguel, it looks like.
Got loose right there. Fortunately, he didn't take Miguel with him. Look at Ty Bodine. Watch Ty Bodine drive by on the inside. Brendan Gaughan on the outside before Ricky backed up into the outside safer barrier. Now in the straightaway. But obviously sliding like that, he scrubbed off a lot of speed. But boy, that thing hits about as square as it can hit.
You can see how much damage it did to that truck and the wall. Luckily, it gave a little. Just think that took away some of the shock to Justin's body.
And he acted somewhat like a safer barrier.
That's exactly what it's. That's exactly how a safer barrier works, and we saw a good example of it there.
Really competitive in the races. He's been able to get to the end. See him, right front tire goes down, Michael, and nothing he could do about it. He'd locked the brakes up, and it actually spun the truck a little bit sideways.
Whoa.
She's in the middle of a couple trucks. That was Max Pappas, the 9 on the outside. Johanna does a nice job not letting that truck get up into the outside wall.
Looked like maybe she was down on the inside of Max, Phil, and the air just come off of her spoiler, got her a little bit loose in the center corner.
Dillon, Johnny Sauter took advantage of his 4 tires. Ooh, looks like Max Pappas.
blowing up
big time.
Max Pappas, flames rolling from underneath that race truck.
Need to get that thing off
Stop
the
it
grass.
if you can, man. Get out, man. Get out.
Heard him say stop
Fire's
if you
out
can,
there.
and Max get out.
Still fire on the back of the truck.
And look at how quickly the safety truck is there.
I love seeing that, Rick. Max having a little bit of trouble getting himself out of the truck, but those guys are right there to take care of the fire. He probably lost the sense of urgency pretty much when he saw those guys pull up and have that situation under control.
Yeah, no, I think there was a contact. Looked like Johanna Long got into Jason really early to be making contact like that. Again, everyone fights for the same real estate, but you got to give each other
You don't think this was this was a result of A, that's B, Elliott Sadler turns the 42 around.
It might have had something to do with that previous situation, but unfortunately Brendan Gaughan is the guy that's going to get the worst of it. He's going to make a little contact right here. See Timothy gets sideways and has to chase the truck up the hill. He makes contact. Around he goes. Arpa does a nice job saving that truck.
Justin Lofton also in the 6 gets by clean. Down low and he's wiggling the truck. It looks as though he has run out of gas.
Austin Dillon just got put in the wall by Todd Bodine.
Austin Dillon into the wall. Coming out of turn 4. Your race leader sees the white flag. One more lap to go. Dillon's in the wall in turn 1 and 2.
They're 2 wide. They're 3 wide. Do we see 4? Yes, I hear 4.
Oh, we got in trouble.
Contact. Jason White sliding.
Whoa, what a job, Jason.
Stays out of the wall. And no contact yet. Around he goes, and the field slows behind him.
Look at the raceway.
See if we can see what happened to Brendan. He got turned by David.
Yeah, David just run up there and hit him in the left rear quarter panel. See if Brendan does make contact with the outside wall, as well as the 81. Peyton Sellers, what a weekend it's been for that 66 truck. Getting pretty good grip from the bottom. Now he loses that grip and has to pull up. Oh,
Contact! Todd Bodine slides coming out of turn number 3.
The caution is coming out.
Lock it down.
Look at what happened early with Pappas and Cole Witt.
Wow, Cole just looked like maybe got a little tight and slid up the hill and got into Max and caused a mess there.
Race 11, already up into the top 4. And into the wall. The 22 of Joey Coulter comes off of the wall into the grass in the infield. Caution comes out once again.
Well, I think he's going to get
back going here.
Without a great deal of damage. You see the splitter.
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Saunders sideways.
Hangs on. Does he? Sliding into the outside. And now to the inside. He's going to hit the wall. He does. Just kiss the inside wall. The 4th caution comes out.
Look at Kligerman. He's going to lean on. Oh! Yes, I knew that was happening.
Parker Kligerman slides, hits the 32, catches the
Austin
Dillon in the 3.
Matt Crafton with some damage with the 88.
He clobbered Mark Martin. Crafton did. That's Dakota Armstrong down on the bottom. He tried to stay in the gas, and he turns he and Mark Martin around, taking Austin Dillon with him.
Yeah, what a tough break for Austin Dillon. Mark Martin, he got punted by the 88 of Matt Crafton. You'd mentioned that before.
Look at Johnny Sauter sneaking right through the middle of all that mess, going by point leader Austin Dillon.
And then Parker Kligerman, he can't see. He runs right into the back of the 3.
Trying to get back to pit road and does some more serious damage to that 29 truck.
Probably not the best idea to mat it when you can't see.
Yeah. Here's another view. You see him get loose and then have to chase it. Wiggles. Just makes contact with the left rear quarter panel of Mark's truck.
Look at the job that Joey Coulter does, slipping through with Justin Lofton. Both those cats, a great job getting through at the bottom of the track. Now let's watch Kligerman here.
He can see to the left.
Clear high, clear about 2.
BK got a little bit loose underneath Paludo. He held on to it.
And sideways goes Miguel Paludo. And now Nelson Piquet. He's going to hit the wall on the inside. Hard into the inside wall on this final lap. They continue to race. Green flag still out.
Paludo, obviously. Watch David Starr here, the 81 truck on the outside. He's right behind this. He said, where's he going to go?
He had to check up. David Starr ends up 5th in this race.
Boy, James Busher was the lucky one, wasn't he? If there's just a foot difference and he turns James Busher right back up in the middle of all that traffic.
Ray, the winning crew chief's got to be happy about this.
They actually have a truck that they raced here 1 year ago, and Timothy Peters finished 8th. But you see he got just a little bit loose.
It's on me. Crew's working hard. I can't say enough about them. They've been doing everything they can to keep me going, and we'll just get out here and make a solid lap and go see how the race goes.
Yeah, that's Ross Chastain. These guys are holding their heads up high. They
Feast again. Jumped in the throttle. You heard him jump in the throttle, sit in the corner. The back end would not stay with it. Does a nice job. Keeps to that truck. It's going to be right in front.
Right in front of his car owner.
See, he was racing with a 31 of James Busher. James was in the middle of the racetrack. Don't know if there was some contact.
Second caution has come out. This one for Josh Richards, and it looks as though Miguel Paludo had a little to do with the 51 going around.
Yeah, they had run side by side for about a half a lap, Rick. It's like Jake Crum just clobbers the back of the 87 truck as he entered the corner.
And that's why Chris Jones went around.
This was just, I don't appreciate that.
I don't think Chris Jones committed enough to retaliating there. I think he started to retaliate and then decided, okay, maybe I better not retaliate.
Experienced Oh, flat right front on that. Well, there was 2 crashes.
Yeah, the accident had already happened here. Looked like Jake came along and ran into the 9 of Max Pappas.
I think John King, it looked like blew a right front tire. Looked like they were racing side by side, maybe Carmichael and Pappas. Carmichael got loose down on the bottom and caused those 2 to crash. And then coming off turn 4, John King's truck just ran straight into the wall.
There's the initial incident right there.
I don't think King did anything wrong. We should go inside Mellon 1. That's Mellon 2.
Mellon 2, yeah, Mellon 1 was lost in practice.
An aggressive restart. He had.
Oh! Kyle Busch into the wall hard.
Elliott Sadler and Kyle Busch made contact.
Hit Kyle in the back to let him know he didn't like what he saw.
And there Kyle goes for retaliation. Hits the 24 of Elliott Sadler. Sadler goes around. This time the caution comes out.
39 of Ryan Sieg and the 51 of Josh Richards Racing. They make contact going in the corner. Josh tried to stay off the 39.
I think the 39 kind of caused that. He dove down and Josh was in a bad spot. Then what happens? It looks like maybe
Max was around and
probably got hit from
Carmichael
behind by another truck.
Area. There was an incident on pit road, I think, involving one of those natural springs. Fireman, whoa, take a look.
And probably no damage to anybody, right?
I wouldn't think. I mean, that's inside of pit wall. Nobody's got to be involved in this. Yeah. Oh, maybe our own Hermie Sadler. Sorry, Hermie.
Well, I had a lot of information I was getting ready to share with everybody at home. No more. My notes are done, so I'm going by ear the rest of the night. I need a bathing suit.
So that's him in the orange truck right there.
That's not the worst place to have that happen. I mean, if you're going to blow one, he was able to get it almost turned sideways before it went into the outside wall.
Another look.
Right side of your screen.
Was he pitting?
Looked like he was slowing, certainly, maybe to come to pit road.
Johanna didn't see that, didn't realize he was going to be so abrupt trying to get down on pit road. Drove right in the points to have problems. Timothy Peters, you can see the left rear tire is flat right there. Timothy, no damage to that tire, Phil, and Rick made a point. The battery's inside that left rear corner. You don't think maybe they left something loose in there and it maybe rubbed that tire. He didn't even get his water good and hot, and he was on pit road. Oh, we got one trouble.
Josh Richards into the outside wall.
The 51 of Josh Richards slams into the outside wall, brings out our first caution on lap number 4. Kevin Harvick Incorporated wants it bad as the smoke continues to roll out of there, but that's the decision. Right front goes down and Sieg into the wall.
That's one of those situations when you've got into the outside wall already. There's no sense just prolonging the agony. Just go ahead and come to pit road.
Rear, that was after the tire going down.
You can see the right rear soft on that truck. In fact, it's tore all to pieces. Looked like maybe going down into turn 3. He lost that right rear tire and spun him around.
Report for Austin Dillon, Michael. You mentioned before. Oh, there it goes.
Around goes Miguel Paludo. Catches the 29 of Parker Kligerman. Both of them into the wall.
Paludo got a little bit loose on the inside of another. Oh, Max Pappas.
Pappas trying to go between the 29 and the 7.
Your left front tire is flat on that truck.
That's kind of strange looking. What?
Yeah, is the left rear tire down on that truck? No, it's not down. Left front just blew out.
Yeah, I think he had some damage to the right rear.
You heard Brendan say it's too loose on a short run. There's another look coming off turn number 2. I think he makes slight contact. There's a slight contact with that left rear quarter panel into the outside wall.
Looked like maybe Brendan didn't know he was that close to the outside wall and had the gas down
trying to get it turned around.
Spun around the other direction and hit the outside wall.
Comes into view there already sideways.
Wasn't that cool? We heard right from the driver what happened. He said, this baby's loose now. Too loose for even me, Brendan said.
They said what they did was a bit of a science experiment, going for a shot at the pole, and he crashed that truck and had heavy damage to the rear end and had to go to a backup today. But the Gunbroker team is still confident that they can have a good run today.
Who's that spot to Busher? Oh, look, he's sideways.
Completely sideways into the fence and now into the wall goes the 3 of Austin Dillon. That will bring out our first caution.
Guys, that's our point leader. We talked about before the race. Max going to squeeze up. Oh, Gresham gets a little bit sideways and then comes down into Max.
Yeah, there was
Max maybe looked like he was coming up as well.
a couple of A couple of contributing factors there. One guy.
Huge damage to the 66 of Gresham.
Run into from behind. He also spun around. There's initial contact between the 13 and the 4. Now Ricky is along for the ride, trying to hold the brakes to keep that truck down on the bottom of the racetrack. No way he could do it.
You know, Phil, the other view that we had from behind looked as though it was David Starr that was on the outside of the 4, and they made contact. Well, we saw the 13 coming up, and
the motor running around with the oil running out of it.
Brett Raymer gets a little bit loose. Max really with nowhere to go was right behind him, and he's just going to carry each other right into the infield here.
Another couple of trucks. Phil.
Whoa, look at Max get airborne.
Across that quarter-mile racetrack right in the infield here.
Another couple of trucks that were ahead of Austin Dillon. He's just going to keep creeping up toward that top 20, like you said.
Blake Feast in the 32. James Busher in the 31.
Oh, yeah, Blake just gets loose right in front of James. James absolutely nowhere to go. Gets pinned up against the outside wall.
We talked earlier that James just didn't seem to have the truck to run toward the front with, running back there in 14th or 15th.
He restarted 10th back on lap number 52, so 7 laps. Oh, Joey Coulter, just as you said, Michael.
Yeah, more than just that tire going down. He's got some suspension damage, that 22.
Run on the bottom of the racetrack for Johnny Sauter. He pulled.
Oh, trouble.
Right behind our leaders. Into the wall. Hard contact.
Justin Lofton looked like he might have got clipped and turned into the outside wall. Brendan, right in front of Cale Gale.
Cale Gale gets caught up in this.
Holy cow. 9th
caution comes out. Debris all over the racetrack.
Cale.
Wise to get to pit road right there.
And how smart is that of Austin Dillon? He saw that something was going to happen, didn't want to be on the outside of that 23, so slowed up, went to the inside.
We thought it was an engine problem. It's not an engine problem. He's going to get down to the corner. It's not going to turn. Jennifer's going around the outside. That's a situation where if she would have looked ahead and maybe saw the smoke from the right front, that may have been a deal where don't go on the outside, just like Austin didn't want to do that. Very outside slow truck, but see the orange truck. The orange and white truck of Josh Richards. He runs into the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. You see Cole Witt gets a piece of that. Kyle Busch got a piece of that, and Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 1 truck got a good piece of that.
A little bit of damage. Yeah, the 99 of Patrick Shelter also has some damage to the front of that truck.
Yep. See, Johnny's already around. He either got turned around.
You see the left rear tire is definitely damaged, and you see the quarter panel is damaged as well. It sure looks like maybe that left rear tire went away.
Again, the 29 running 3rd.
See him high?
See how high he is there?
What's he doing there?
Bodine turned him. Caught him and turned him from the
Well, we're watching
outside.
in slow motion, so it happened a lot faster than that.
Those two were running together. It looked as though Bodine went to the high side. Kligerman stayed down low. Take another look.
What's he doing? He's all the way up beside him, and he just turns him.
Maybe they were going to do the switch right there, Michael, and the air just tied back into Parker Kligerman's truck.
Somebody gets him from behind.
Is that Johanna Long in the 20? It is. Johanna Long in the 20 got in the back of Blake Feast. The rear wheels came off the ground there. Fortunately, that truck came back down. I did not see the roof flap deploy on that truck.
This is the 84 of Chris Fontaine. There he makes pretty substantial contact with the inside safer barrier. Those are safer barriers on the inside of the racetrack here because of the speeds we've been talking about. 195 miles an hour on this track.
Phil, you and I both hit that wall down there when it was concrete, and it just makes me want to hug NASCAR for installing those barriers everywhere around the circuit, because when we come to Talladega, there's no way anyone can predict all the different places we can crash at.
Dude, it's all the same lap. There's Jason White, the gunbroker truck on the inside. Looks like he may have made a little contact with the curb, and look how he turned him sideways and then actually straightened him out. But the problems didn't end for Cole Witt here at this end of the racetrack. He goes down here to the other end. Let's keep following him here. There he is right there. May have been the same situation where the 8 truck of Nelson Piquet Jr. may have bounced off. I thought it looked like Cole crowded him, but
what happened in 3 and 4.
Brendan Gaughan gets into the back of Lofton, spins him around. Look, Johnny Sauter just didn't have room to go to the left. He was trying to go left. Brakes were locked up, but Austin was pushing him.
See heavy traffic. There's Josh Richards and Max battling for position. They get down to turn number 1.
He just got in there too hot. He didn't like the way he got cut off. He's being a little aggressive, and his back brakes, it looked like maybe locked up Phil, and around he went.
Looked like,
man, if you...
Max just gets in there a little bit hot, and just loses control of it again. May have been too much rear brake in that truck.
Yeah, it might have got a sign when he spun out the time before. Maybe it was time to crank some front brake into it. If they try to put
this caution flag, you see them leaving pit road there. Max crowded Todd a little bit. Then Todd shows his displeasure, runs in the back of Max. And that was a long time ago.
Yeah, and they get out on the racetrack as soon as Todd catches back. Look, Todd gives him a little shove. I believe, Phil, Max tries to brake check Todd. There is no other way that truck would just spin around like that on the straightaway. I believe he was slowing down to say, get off of me, Todd, and it put him right in the fence. As a team owner, that's your worst nightmare. This is Cole Witt's accident with Max down in turn. He must have been mad at Max from earlier.
Yeah, rode him all the way up the racetrack. That was in turn 1, and you saw the sheet metal get torn off of the 60.
See Max go down in turn 4. Gets up high. I don't know what he's doing there.
That looks like maybe a spin to get a caution flag.
Yeah.
Happened here.
Tyler done a great job of keeping his nose clean. He was down on the inside of Clay Rogers and spun around and back up the track in front of Johanna Long. But a good job by this kid racing today. He just got
to take that spot away.
How about that young driver Ron Hornaday trying to get by Kyle Busch here? Ooh, close.
Wide into turn 4. That moves Kyle Busch all the way up the racetrack. He has to catch it before he gets to the wall. And Hornaday catches the wall.
Low. Caution's out. Caution's out.
Caution is going to come out. Both drivers trying to get by. Look like the 17 of Timothy Peters. They slid up the racetrack, and now Kyle Busch not happy at all.
It's all good, dude.
And Kyle Busch is going to turn over and three into the wall. Our championship contender Hornaday in the wall.
Well, Kyle Busch should be parked for this race and maybe the rest of the season for that.
Holy cow, I can't believe he did
Championship
that.
contender Ron Hornaday hard into the wall. Kyle Busch sends him in.
Pleasure to Ron Hornaday. He gets up against him and he just won't never turn him loose, Mikey.
He's running wide open in the back of that truck, and he finally turns him head on into that outside wall.
Outside of Jason White.
Oh, Jason just run up into the left rear quarter panel. And how fortunate is she, Phil, to spin, running probably 150, 60 miles an hour right off the corner, not hit a thing. Yeah, is Parker going to get a little loose? We've seen him have trouble with this year a couple times. Oh, he blows the right front.
Yeah, cut down a right front tire. And you saw the damage to that truck, how hard he hit that outside wall. That's after hitting Blake Feast and killing a little bit of that momentum.
Man, Blake thought, watch 63. I think he gets
caught.
a little damage on the right rear of that truck.
David
Jack.
Left side of your screen.
Uh-oh. Jake gets sideways here, and Jack was all over him. He couldn't stay off him, and then Jake carries up the racetrack and squeezes Jack into the outside wall.
Another look coming out of 2. In the middle of the racetrack.
Uh-oh. A little bit of contact from the 66 of Max Gresham. That's what turned their main around.
And look, that truck just keeps going and going and going. He might be getting a little bit more than he bargained for.
David Starr making a good move in the 81 around Germán Quiroga.
Germán did a nice job. He kept the brakes locked up till that front end started coming around, then let off to let it settle a little bit.
Move by Kevin Harvick. He knows he can go a little bit further before he has to get on the brakes to come to the pit. And look, Buescher just says, don't be passing me. But Kevin didn't do anything wrong there, guys.
Buescher turned right to go up there and hit Kevin. Kevin was going to remind him that he didn't like him being blocked on that restart a little bit.
This is why the 4th caution has come out. They were 3 wide.
Wow. Chastain got in on the inside of Clay Greenfield, and his truck just got really loose. And that's your leader right there. We were riding along and saw all the smoke, so